Hey there, YouTube. Welcome to the Disc Golf Answer Man, a disc golf audio podcast. This is episode 333.
Pars are good.
Pars are good.
That's 3 threes. So technically that's 4 threes.
That is a turkey of pars.
That's 3 threes, so that's technically 4 threes?
Yeah, the 3 threes that make up the number, and then another 3 because there's 3 of them.
Because of the 3. Is that like Illuminati stuff?
It's quite a few threes.
The Illuminatis.
Wow.
All right, well, we're going to
Whole 3.
make sure that our audio is good. It's good on our end, but we'll make sure with you guys before we start actually recording the audio podcast. Make sure we're good. So if I can get some feedback from you guys in the YouTube group, that would be fantastic.
It stopped as soon as we started talking. The chat on my phone. I was just looking at it. It was rolling, and then it stopped.
Yeah.
Scott, I am back from Tennessee. It was a fun time there.
For our YouTubers, if you notice that Robert is not here, Robert is at home.
He's up there.
With he's here in spirit.
I'm doing my Robert.
He is home with the new baby, Owen Warden Par 3 Clark McCall.
It's all just hyphenated. He has to fill out a form, and he just starts sweating.
Oh, that's good.
No, Owen Clark McCall was ushered into this world on Friday, September 25th at 7:52. Released. Release. So yeah, so Robert is out taking care of the little one, trying to maintain his rest. I'm sure him and Shay are doing an awesome job taking care of that new little baby.
I'm sure.
We good on audio? Everybody's doing good? Is we getting all goods from the audience?
Oh, good. Looks good to me.
Cool.
Everybody's having a fantastic time.
All right, we'll start recording the actual podcast. If you want to give me the thumbs up, Anthony, thumbs up. All right, here we go.
That's not a thumbs up. That's mean.
Yeah, right.
Gosh.
Wrong finger, Anthony. Here we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man, a disc golf audio podcast brought to you by Dynamic Discs, where we want to help you become a better disc golfer. I'm Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze, and I have with me Mr. Eric McCabe, who is not out designing a course, although I'm sure he's in the middle of the course designs.
I am, and I'll be talking about one here in just a little bit.
And then we have Mr. Danny Lindahl back from the Music City Open in Tennessee. He was out there doing some video work for us. Robert McCall is not on this particular episode. He's actually at home with the new baby, Owen Warden Par 3 Clark McCall Hyzer Flip Turnover. No, I'm playing. No, just the name. Owen Clark McCall, little baby boy, born 8 pounds, 4.8 ounces. He was born Friday, September 25th at 7:52 in the morning. If you happen to follow Robert on Facebook, make sure you go find the pictures he posted of the little baby and give him a congratulations. Mother and child are doing wonderful. I talked to Robert yesterday. He was pretty worn out, pretty tired. He had was up all night with the baby. But that is to be expected with a newborn. So.
Bobby, you absolutely killed the intro.
Did you like
just
that?
Flawless bars the whole time.
Must be because I'm here.
I respect.
I was just going to say, do you notice who's not here? I know now. Do you notice who's not here? And I got everything right? Yeah.
Does he make you nervous?
He makes me nervous. He does, because he judges me.
Oh, man.
He corrects me all the time. No. Anyway, so we're here. We're going to answer your disc golf questions, and we got a few things to talk about. But first, tell us a little bit about the latest in-course design, Eric.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wasn't here last week, but I did tune in for a little bit. I was actually in Alma, Michigan, ALMA, and it's kind of like, I don't know, how's Michigan? It's like right here.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the Mitten State.
Do you know it like the back of your hand?
Good one.
I've never been to Michigan. I have no idea what you're talking about.
You didn't know that it's called the Mitten State because it looks like a mitten?
Yeah.
Now I gotta look it
So
up.
when people from Michigan talk about where they're from, they just hold up their hand and point.
Oh, okay.
You can do that.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. But when you're showing it, is it
has to be the right way,
this
though.
way or a
It has to
mitten
be the
this
right
way?
way.
Depending to the camera.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I didn't
The
even know
mitten,
that.
if it's facing you, it's right-handed.
Gotcha.
So
okay. So
anyway, so the club up there had me come up and walk this beautiful piece of property. It's ironic. Not ironic, I guess that's a weird word for it, but it's unique, I guess is a better term. It's on an old airport. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Airport property from the 20s.
Whoa.
Yeah. So hasn't been an airport in many, many years, obviously, because there's, huge mature trees all around. So when I first heard it was an airport and I saw some pictures of the property, like from when it was an airport, it was just a flat piece of land with a couple runways, and one of the runways is actually still there. And we utilize that runway for a nice, like 680-foot par 4,
nice.
something like that.
Yeah.
It's got trees on both sides, and it's going to be a fantastic course. It's big. I think it's, if I recall right, it's almost 8,000 feet from long to long. And we're going to have 2 tees, and we're going to have 2 basket placements on every single hole. It's just, Craig is out there actually on the board, and he's the gentleman that hired me to come out and walk the property, and he spent most of that week with me walking it, and I got to know him pretty well, and it's going to be awesome. Hoping for a springtime open. I believe here in the next couple weeks they're actually going to start cutting the fairways.
Wow,
Getting everything
cool.
cut, get a brush hog out there and get to work. So I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be like a par 62, 64, somewhere around that range, and it's just going to be something that's not really offered in that area. I played a few of the courses in the area. From Alma, actually, it's like a half an hour drive to the nearest course, which is weird for Michigan, as big as disc golf is there. So it's going to be great to have that right in the middle of the state, and more of a links, longer championship level course. So if you're ever in the area next year, go check it out.
So one of the, or I guess maybe one of the T-pad is in the actual airport runway for James Conrad, so he has
Exactly.
exactly. Good.
Exactly right.
Good for you. Cool. Well, that's awesome. Well, that's always good to hear about new disc golf courses, and of course, we're excited to have another McCabe designed course out there. So that's excellent, and I'm sure you'll keep us updated as that progresses.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, let's jump into the. Well, no. How did Music City Open go?
It went well.
Yeah?
It was great. We were worried about rain. It didn't rain at all.
Yeah.
We had, I was able to follow our touring players. I was able to follow Zach Melton, Eric Oakley, Chris Clemens, along with a little bit of Nico LaCastro, Emerson Keith, and a few other players in there.
Nice.
As I saw them, it was a lot of fun. We rented a really fancy camera that I didn't break. So I'd call that a win.
Appreciate that.
Overall.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Did you use it? Did you take it out of the box?
Yeah.
I just looked at it, opened
Okay.
it, looked at it. I was like,
cool.
okay, we're good.
Imagine the footage I could get with
I'm
that
not
thing.
breaking this thing.
And I'm not breaking it. Well, cool. Awesome. Yeah. So Dan was out there filming some footage of our players that we have for promotional videos and things like that. So nothing specific, right? I mean, nothing specific you'll see on our YouTube channel, but if you're ever watching an ad or a promotional video or something like that, you'll see some of the footage that he captured out there. All right, well, let's get to the disc golf questions. As always, guys, go to discgolfanswerman.com and submit your disc golf questions. We will get them on the air. This first one is from Alan. Hey, you all, he says, aliens abduct you and take you to another planet or galaxy. What planet are you going to, and what are its characteristics? Get creative, get trippy.
Ooh.
I'm going to go to a planet with low enough gravity that I can throw a big flick and just it orbits forever. And it will be the biggest flick.
Oh, fantastic.
But then it'll never be my turn to go because we're
That's right. You got to wait for the shot.
gotta wait for the sun. Yeah, that's not the land.
Dibs on going first.
yeah, exactly.
I wonder. Okay, it wouldn't. It would have to be somewhere like the moon, somewhere without an atmosphere too, because otherwise, I mean, normally I have this problem too, where it just goes too fast that the friction from the wind just melts the plastic.
You probably won't hit a tree.
That's a good point. Yeah, on the moon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd probably go to the moon.
Okay.
So are these planets that are? Can you read part of that again?
It just says aliens abduct you and take you to another planet. So it can be. It doesn't even have to be in our
Endor
solar
then.
system.
I'm going to Endor then. You kidding me?
Oh yeah.
Think about how awesome of a course you could put up
Oh
there.
yeah.
For real.
Wait, didn't it get blown up?
The moons did.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah. The space station blew up next to it. You can still go there and check it out.
I'm gonna go there with Eric. So that's what I'm going
Is that
to.
Ewoks?
That is the Ewok.
Hire an Ewok as a caddy?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, I'm down. I'm so down with this.
That's awesome. Cool. All right, so there you go. There's our planets. Thank you for the question,
You
Alan.
didn't answer.
I said I was going to
He's
your
going with
planet.
me.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Going with me.
Sean wants to know something about practicing. Should I be practicing? Oh, no. What should I be practicing? I was going to say, yes, you should be practicing. Hello, DGAM fam. I am fairly new to disc golf as I am 4 months new to the sport. I have seemed to started a disc golf cult as I've gotten 14 more of my friends. Did I read this one already? I think I did. A few, maybe I didn't. I have also gotten 14 of my friends in the sport as well. With that, a lot of them have different philosophies on how to improve their game. I've been focused on nose down and keeping the disc flat on release or hyzer flips or headwinds. A few, though, have a different approach when practicing. They do is, yes, I read this because it was really hard to read last time because of the wording.
It didn't get easier.
It didn't get any easier. Okay, Nick. Disc speed versus glide. Sorry about that, guys. I've been trying to decide between two different mid-range discs. One has a speed of 6 and a glide of 5, and one has a speed of 5 and a glide of 6. I know flight numbers are just a suggestion, but which do you think would give me... I think they mean more distance, but they said give me or distance. So give me more distance.
Ooh, hard to say.
Yeah.
I mean, you compare something like a warship and an EMAC, I guess. I guess warships have a ton of glide.
So does Emacs, but
Yeah.
not like, It just depends on the player, really. It depends on your arm speed. Depends. There's a lot of variables actually that go into it. Depends. There's a lot that, 6'5" versus 5'6". I mean, it's a toss up, to be honest with you.
What about if we went to like a higher number? What if we went
Like
to
a
like
14?
Like a 14.5, but
Mid-range?
a 12.6. Like I believe the trespass is probably in that category versus a raider, like a beat up raider, and they kind of go similar distances, don't they?
They very well they can. Yeah, depending on who's throwing it. once
Well,
again.
yeah, but I mean, if you figure the same stability, so it'd probably be a beat up like bio raider and a lucid trespass, flying the same line. The trespass is going to be glidier, but it's probably going to go about the same distance.
Yeah, but he's asking about mid ranges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, mid range
So
is
similar. Yeah. Yeah.
I think
I think
Ruth is what you think.
That's like splitting hairs.
It is,
to
yeah.
me. That's like saying, which is better for me, a 175 gram or a 174 gram. I mean, it just really. This is again why I get flight numbers are a guide, but this is why to think, which should I get, a 5 speed or a glide 6 or speeds? I mean, that's just pick up the disc and give it a throw. And see which performs better for you. Now, obviously not one throw, but a few throws. So
I think this is more of like a theoretical question than a literally. At least that's the way I read it, or I hear it. It's like it's a theoretical. He's
we don't deal in
imagining.
theories on the show.
Sorry.
Absolutes.
All hypotheticals.
Wait, only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Next one is from Aaron. What far do you think? Are you guys using like speech to text? Because I need a little bit more than that. What far do you think the average professional disc golfer throws forehand? How far is, I'm sure is what he's meaning. How far do you think the average professional disc golfer throws forehand?
Ooh, that's really hard to say.
Professional's a loose term.
Yeah. Because you have everyone from like Eagle, who smashes forehands, to someone, I'm just imagining of someone who's not known for their forehand, but does have it, like James Conrad or Double G, who can bust it out, but
I'm going to say around the 380 mark.
that's probably pretty accurate. Yeah. For like the pros that rely on their forehand regularly.
They're a little more than that, and then the others are a little shorter than that, probably.
Yeah.
But I would say around the 380 mark is probably
about right.
Pretty close.
All right. This one's an interesting would you rather question from Ryan. Would you rather play with wet discs all round, no drying allowed, or every time you tee off, approach, or putt, someone blows an air horn?
Air horn
Air horn.
Really?
all day.
Because that you can kind of psych out in your
I don't
mind.
get
just
distracted like that.
Yeah.
Especially if I know it's coming.
Right.
You know, obviously I'm going to know it's coming by
That's
like
true.
the third hole.
Right.
Someone's just blasting an air horn on me on every throw.
What if it's like right in your ear?
by the 8th hole, I won't even hear it because I'll
Good point.
It will be hard.
You'll just hear the ringing.
It will be hard to throw with my hand after I punch that guy in the
true.
face.
More importantly, he says, thanks for all that you guys do. FYI, they now carry Torchy's Taco Queso at Whole Foods.
Ooh.
Because that's a health food. Why would
is. Wait.
Wait, they have like chocolate milk at Whole Foods too, so it's definitely not just health foods.
But it's from organic cows, so.
Organic cow.
Does that wait? Chocolate milk
How
is
does that
healthy
work?
now.
How's that work?
I'll be right back, guys.
All right, this next one's from Nick. Hey, DGAM fam. I hope you are doing well. Every year I team up with a school in my area to get the PE program some disc golf equipment and teach the kids about disc golf. This year, due to COVID, I'm not allowed to teach the kids, so instead I'm taking a couple of the actual PE teachers out to play disc golf. My question is, how do I teach someone to teach disc golf? I'm pretty decent at teaching kids the basics, but teaching someone to teach is different for some reason. This is my third year doing this, but first time not physically teaching the kids. Any tips and suggestions are greatly appreciated. Well, I believe this person sent me a text, or at least he's part of our texting. By the way, if you want to be part of our community where I text you, it literally comes from me, a text. In fact, I messed up the other day and had to correct
I saw that.
what I did.
I got both those texts.
You got both of them. So you can text me at 620-312-3225. Anyway, I sent out this URL about a new thing that Robert and I worked on. He put together a disc golf curriculum, and it's 8 lessons that basically Robert teaches you how to teach disc golf. So check that out. You can actually find more information out at, get ready to write this down, dynamicdiscs.com/schools. Make sure that S is on the end, schools. dynamicdiscs.com/schools. And it even has a PDF download you can download to kind of help you walk through the lessons. And then there's a video YouTube playlist out there that you can watch. Robert works through all that. And then there's actually some educational equipment packages where you can get some really nice equipment to implement into a program you want to put together for disc golf. So check that out for sure.
And one other thing, since you're teaching kids, I would just kind of throw out, recommend. Don't do a lot of like teaching. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just hands-on stuff is a lot more fun for the kids. They just want to go out and throw discs. It doesn't matter if their form's off a little bit. I'm sure you've touched base on this before, but just make sure that they're having fun, because that's what's going to bring them back.
Every time I've been out videoing, when Dixon worked here and he took kids out there, but anytime he's talking to them, the kids are like, then after a while, you're like, okay, time to get them to throw. And as soon as they start throwing those discs, they light up. So for
Lighted.
sure. Yeah. All right. This next one is from John. This is on the Dynamic Discs Open. Hey guys, when will I get to watch the Dynamic Discs Open? I've been patiently I've been patiently waiting, and darn it, I'm done being patient.
Sorry.
And yes, I know it's on CBS in August.
My bad. It's like I knew it was coming.
But I was not, and still not wanting to spend the money for a service I'm not interested in. I'd rather buy this. All right, we get it. What do we get? I don't know exactly. That's really on Jomez. I don't know how long they had to wait until afterwards.
I thought it was sometime in October.
I was always telling people the end of September, but that could be pushed to sometime in October. So yeah. I'm sure. Just make sure you're subscribed to Jomez if you are not already. And once it's pushed out, you'll be aware, or you'll be notified of it.
But a lot of people have been asking that, though. So that's definitely a question we've seen.
I'm sure it's coming very soon.
And then he says, also, have you been told viewer numbers by CBS for the tournament? It looks like Jomez Pro's coverage consistently gets 150,000 views or more for tournament per video. Did CBS coverage grow the sport? So it's a weird thing, because it's going to be one of those things that we're not going to, I don't feel like we're going to be able to say, oh, that person purchased, or our growth was 10%. Because of that CBS coverage. To me, it's just part of the puzzle. Now, I do remember Robert saying that they did a little search on dynamic discs and disc golf on Google, and they did see a spike in searching for those terms during the coverage. So it did have an effect. Now, the lasting effect, I don't know that we'll be able to see. So, but no, they did not tell us the numbers. I don't know that they will tell us the numbers.
I don't think that they will.
I'm seeing in chat October 8th as the release date for the Jomez coverage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, between Jonesboro and the finale is what I saw.
There you go, October 8th. Excellent. Next one is from Nick. Oh, no, this is the same one. He must have submitted it twice. He thought the question was so nice, he submitted it twice.
2 times.
Let's actually talk about a little Trilogy challenge. Ooh, where do we have some events going on? I believe, is this weekend the last weekend? No, one more weekend before.
Wait, after the Trilogy challenges are over, we can buy the discs, right?
Yes.
I'm about to have all the bounties.
I have 2 bounties. I forgot I had Eric's, and then the one I got from the AT&T.
So it's bountiful?
It's a bountiful
The one I
bounty.
gave you from AT&T.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
So this weekend we have Texas, Alberta, Canada, a lot in Texas, Arizona, Missouri, Alabama, Utah, West Virginia, Minnesota, Iowa, North Carolina, more in Texas. Oh, there's another one happening in Emporia, Kansas the following weekend.
Oh, what?
What?
at Riley's private disc golf
cool.
course.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, October 11th.
Your
That's good to
opportunity
know.
to get another one.
There we
There
go.
you go. So, all right, guys. So there you go. Check it out at trilogychallenge.com. Get your hands on a Latitude 64 SPZ3, a Dynamite Discs Bounty, and a Westside Disc BT Hybrid Crown.
Yep.
All right, back to the questions. This one's from Paul.
Macbeth?
Yeah.
Yes, he's
Definitely.
needing some advice.
Well, let me tell you,
We
Paul,
appreciate
I got
it.
you covered.
I mean, Paul, just text me on my personal line. No. Oh, okay. Say after listening to an older episode, there was someone asking about a fictional hole you'd make in New York, but no one was familiar with New York really enough to give a specific hole design. So here's the fictional hole I have for you:
Okay.
indoor disc golf, the office.
Oh.
Okay.
T-pad is by the vending machine, and basket is elevated on the reception desk. Toby's desk is on and must put your disc in the baler if it lands there. What's the par? What disc are you using?
That's just like a jump putt, though, isn't it?
I think so.
It's like a big turnover shot, I think, right?
T-pad is by the vending machines, and basket is elevated on reception desk. So we'd have to go out.
Out and around and over and up. It wouldn't
Yeah.
be a very long hole.
No, it wouldn't.
Probably Warden then. Or a bounty.
Probably a junior.
Try to think.
EMAC.
So
There you
the
go.
vending machine. Did you say junior email?
Yeah.
I may have been throwing my junior discs around my
Would
apartment.
a
when we
Tursus
were
do that? A
locked in.
Tursus,
So fun.
I would throw my Tursus.
Tursus.
Turn it over. No, just a slight Anheuser.
Give it an ace run.
Yep.
Do it.
Do it that ace run. All right, there you go, Paul. All right, that was twice again. This was from Alan. My Trilogy discs include the Latitude 64 Opto Air Mall, the Westside Underworld, a shiny, glimmery one, and my beloved Metal Flake Moonshine Trespass. These discs are all amazing. I'm trying to grow my Trilogy bag now. I currently bag a lot of Discmania and a lot of discs from smaller companies. My question: my maul is super flippy. My noodle arm can turn it over into a roller.
Nice.
My Underworld is way more overstable than the flight numbers would lead you to believe in comparison to the maul.
I mean, it's in the VIPX, though, right? Because he said it's Glimmer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I know the maul is Opto Air, but still, I want a disc somewhere in the middle. Something I can really rip on and just get a decent, consistent flight. Do I go with one of these same discs in a different plastic?
I mean, you could go with a heavier maul. Or the first thing that came to mind, if you like the feel of your Underworld, is a disc that Bobby knows a little something about. It's the Hatchet from Westside Discs.
I was thinking the Hatchet.
Yeah.
Yes, the Hatchet would be a great one. The Hatchet would be one that you might, only if you progress like I do, you might, I don't want to say outgrow, but it just didn't become as useful. Outthrow. It didn't become as useful as it used to, but the Hatchet is definitely a good disc. It once based on what you're describing. What's
Yeah,
another
it's-
one he could try?
You see if you can find a max weight diamond, maybe. Those might be a little bit flippier, though. Maybe like
bet
an
they are.
Escape? Or like a Stag?
Would a Maverick be too?
Stag.
It's not quite as fast, but yeah, the similar flight, though.
Yeah.
Or even a river.
Yeah, River.
Rivers are really good.
Northman.
Northman. I had a Northman. I threw it a few times. There you go. Northman, Hatchet, even a Maverick might be something you might try out.
Or even a Vandal.
Or even a Vandal. Or a, what'd you say, a heavyweight diamond?
Yep.
The heavyweight diamond. Kyle wants to know, is there a disc that can be used to help gauge where a player's arm speed is? Say, for instance, a player who throws the disc 300 plus is good to throw speed 10s and above to produce its proper flight, but someone who throws it under 300 should stick to slower discs. I know all discs can be thrown regardless of arm speed, but I'm only interested in accessing proper flight characteristics. If familiar with film exposure, is there a disc equivalent to middle gray?
Here's kind of a hot take that I have about this. I think nose angle is far more important than arm speed in throwing faster discs, because faster discs are going to punish a nose up release more than a slower disc. And if your discs are at different speeds are all going the same distance, they're probably flying nose up. So, I mean, I would say if you have 300 feet with your driver and it's flying fairly nose up, if you get the nose down, you can throw anything and it'll fly relatively similar to what the flight numbers are.
I would agree with that.
Really? Okay, cool.
I mean, arm speed's great, but I mean, it is all about nose angle, especially with consistency.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you surprised?
I just didn't expect you to say that.
You expected me to say that arm speed is better?
Yeah.
I mean,
Why?
I have more arm speed probably than, I don't know, my nose angle.
Yeah, nose angle's good too.
But nose angles, in my mind, that's, if I miss a shot, it's not because of my arm speed, it's because of my angles.
I thought I was bringing in a hot take. I guess
Not quite as hot as
All
you
right.
thought, huh? Just basically a take.
Man.
just a normal take.
A normal take.
A the middle
These
grade
are my
take.
thoughts.
Just
That's what
the
it was.
facts.
But to answer his question about a disc, I think a trespass is probably a good, like, it's an entry level distance driver.
Trespass is one of the best discs on the market.
Yeah, it's
period.
fantastic. To where, like, once you see it starting to turn, then you're like, okay. And you can kind of get a little bit to the right out of it. Then you're like, all right, I'm ready for those bigger distance drivers.
I'm ready for a Raider
yeah,
at that point, yeah.
and even if you
man.
can't, you could still get a relatively straight, controllable flight.
I
out of
still
it.
throw a trespass to this day. So trespasses are phenomenal. If you haven't got one, I definitely recommend getting one because they're just, it's underrated. in
Yeah,
my
I would
mind.
agree. I was almost even thinking, and this is just based off my experience, even a Renegade, but a bead in Renegade will turn over. And so that might not be the best gauge because it might be also the disc. Whereas now I have a really old Biofusion trespass, and I love it because it goes straighter. I can get it to flip to flat sooner than I can the hybrid trespass I have. So I guess that makes sense. Okay. I'm sorry. I just was thinking that through.
I'm trying to remember exactly what his question was. Does he want to know like a distance?
He wanted to know a disc that is good. That if, like his example was, if you're a person that throws over 300, and then he wants, in other words, I think what he was saying was, at what point can he say I'm a good test thrower for flight characteristics? Because
Okay.
because of the distance I throw and how I throw makes what the disc says it's supposed to do, it actually does.
Okay.
So
That makes sense.
It does.
all right, John wants to know about change the form, WTF. That's what he says. I watched one of Danny's videos. Let's be honest. I've watched all of Danny's videos.
Aw.
They're awesome. And tried making a slight change to my wrist position at the reach back. The problem is that when I line up my thumb with my arm, I seem to generate so much spin that I turn over all my discs. It's like 30 degrees difference, but I'm turning over my verdict and my EMAC truth with minimal effort. Should I keep going with this and adjust all my shots and disc selections? I'm not seeing a great increase in distance, but the disc do fly nicely, albeit not where I intend.
I would ask if the disc is wobbling, because if it's wobbling, I can see a grip or a wrist change cause that. You definitely don't want to be curling your wrist. We've talked about that before, how that weakens your grip strength. The other thing that I would encourage you to try is to raise your follow through, because a lot of times when you're focusing so much on everything else, it's easy to follow through down. And a lot of times that'll just kind of turn the disc on the Hyzer that you're not looking for. And so, I would check, make sure the disc isn't wobbling. If it is, try and make sure that the disc is on more of a consistent angle, and otherwise try raising your follow through to try and get a little bit of a cleaner release on the disc.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that a lot, that the EMAC is flippy, that the verdict is flippy, but it's not. I mean, it's a very, very neutral flying disc for sure. But for me personally, when I'm throwing those discs, I get the best success with Hyzer flips out of them, you know, and that's just naturally why it works best for me, is because that's how I grew up in Kansas playing windy. So everything was coming out with Hyzer from day one, you know, so that's part of the reason that the EMAC flies so well for me on that 80% Hyzer flip shot. But it's not a flippy disc. It can be touchy if you do roll your wrist a lot, or you tend to throw the disc super
Mids
flat.
in general can be.
Yeah, correct. Unless you're throwing like a Justice. I've even heard people say that they flip a Justice, which,
No.
I mean,
Unless a lawnmower ran over it like 11 times.
and what kind of wind are you throwing into, et cetera, et cetera. So,
That's crazy.
yeah.
All right, next one is from Ben. Ben. That's it.
Jamming?
Left-handed Hyzer flips. Hello, disc golf answer man fam. My question for you today is about Hyzer flips. I understand that to throw Hyzer flips right hand backhand, you want to use an understable disc. Now, I was under the assumption that being a left-hand backhand player that I would need to use a overstable disc to do hyzer flips since everything for the lefty is reversed. It was not until yesterday talking to the manager of the local disc golf shop that informed me that my assumption was incorrect. I wanted to get some clarification on why they do that and some disc recommendations on something great for me, left-hand backhand, to get some nice hyzer flips and or flex shots going. Love the show. Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
You want to take this one?
I mean, it's not really a question, is it?
Yeah.
He figured the answer out already.
Yeah.
I mean, it is opposite, correct, but it depends on what kind of shot you're trying to throw. So if it's a hyzer hole for me, a lefty is going to want to throw something more understable to get it to flip up and turn to the right. But I guess, I mean, yeah, it's just kind of, it's physics, right?
Yeah. The direction that a disc turns or fades is decided by the direction that it's spinning.
Correct.
Just like a righty, if he throws an overstable disc, it'll curve to the left backhand. It'll curve to the right forehand.
Yeah,
A lefty forehand is rotating the same direction as a righty backhand. So a lefty forehand will curve to the left if it's an overstable disc, and a lefty backhand will curve to the right if it's an overstable disc. Yeah. So yeah, to throw the disc that starts on that lefty hyzer angle and flip up, you do need something understable. I think the Underworld or Maverick is probably a good choice to start out with for learning hyzer flips.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, the Maverick's not an understable disc either.
No.
You know? So I mean, if you're just now trying to figure out how to throw hyzer flips, I would suggest getting something just super flippy, like even a Thief, to test it out with slower arms.
Have you thrown a Sear?
Not since the late 80s.
What?
No, I haven't.
No, okay.
It's been a while. Yes, I
Like,
have thrown a Sear. I've thrown pretty much all of our discs, but it's been a very, very long time.
the Sear is it's a slower fairway. It's really easy to get a hyzer flip. So if you have no idea what you're doing, you just want to get the hyzer flip shot, I would definitely check out a Sear.
Yeah, which is why I would definitely recommend something just super understable so
Yeah.
you can test that out and see where you need to go from there.
What was the first disc you ever hyzer flipped?
Me? The very first disc I ever owned.
Yeah?
The Globy Stealth.
Never heard of that. That's awesome.
Yep. It's a lightning disc.
Oh, cool.
It's from the 80s.
Yeah, that one actually is. My first hyzer flip was with a D-Line Avenger SS.
Nice.
And I lost it like 2 throws later.
I think the Avenger SS, I remember. I know that like now for distance, now it's a high-speed disc, but I like the Queen for a flex shot. I don't throw it a lot, but
You used to throw the Freedom for that.
the freedom for that, but I never liked the width of the rim. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He did say something about flex shots too.
Yeah.
Flex shots are different. Flex shots, you do want to throw a more overstable disc because you're starting it with Anheuser and it's coming back. And it kind of creates that like Nico Locastro kind of S line, except mirrored. There's actually a plugin you can get for Chrome that mirrors videos. You can like turn it on and off so you can watch a YouTube video of a righty throwing and then you can mirror it so you'll know what it looks like for a lefty to do.
Can I just do that while I'm on the tee pad? If I need,
No, you can't have a YouTube video throw for you.
You can try.
and reverse it. No, it's supposed to go the other way. Hit reverse. Here, mirror. David has a question about disc recommendations. I currently have a serviceable sidearm, which I'm constantly working on improving. For context, I'm currently a 936 rated player. I have 2 main discs I use for my sidearms. I have a beat-in Blend Suspect 174. I throw about 220 and beat-in Lucid Felon 171. I throw about 280 feet. I achieve these distances with a nice, smooth sidearm, meaning I don't need to overpower these discs to reach their distances. I've worked really hard on my sidearm this year, and I'm looking for a disc I could try out which could allow me to add a little more distance. For my home course, if I could get up to 330 feet, I'd be ecstatic. I like the Suspect and Felon for their low profiles. I do prefer a flatter disc. Could you recommend a disc and weight in the DD lineup, possibly at Latitude 64 as well, that could help me achieve some more distances now that I continue to improve my sidearm technique? Something that could complement the Suspect and the Felon would be great.
Felon, wow. Throwing a Felon 280?
He says pretty beat up though.
Okay. I'm going to recommend the Trespass.
That's
again,
exactly what I was going to say too.
as I recommended
too.
earlier. It's such a versatile disc. I can't say it enough. It is actually, I don't have a great forehand, as everybody in the world knows.
It's better than you give yourself credit for, I think.
It's not that bad. I just would much rather throw a backhand turnover than a forehand if I can. But it is what I use for a forehand. And it's not super overstable. So it depends if you're more of a Hyzer flipper or a force over.
Sounds like he's a Hyzer flipper.
Yeah, it does. So I think
What a Hyzer flipper.
if you're getting a felon out that far, I don't care how beat up the felon is, it's still overstable disc. So if you're still getting it up to 280, he said, I think you're going to have no issues getting a Trespass to fly fantastic.
Yeah.
Any particular weight do better than others? He seems to be. He asked if you could say the weight as well.
I find on forehands especially, lighter discs are easier on my elbow.
Okay.
So like I don't bag one specifically for that, but when I've tested out lighter discs on forehands, they felt really good. So you might see if you can find an air Trespass. Otherwise, those are going to be a little bit less stable. So if you try one of those that's a little bit too understable, then you can get something heavier, I think.
Yeah, I'd say anything 68 and up
Yeah.
is going to be great.
Also, quick shout out to Anthony Anselmo. I saw him at the Music City Open. He is a lefty forehand thrower, and he throws a lot of Trespasses, and it's just buttery smooth. And they go, it's like he's not even trying, and then they go super far.
Yep.
Now, what about the suspect? He wanted something for the felon and now for his suspect throw.
Suspect? It's kind of hard because the suspect is a mid-range, and if you step up from a mid-range, usually that's a fairway driver, but then
Which
the
would be
felon is a felon. Yeah. You could try a verdict, I guess. The Chris Clemens verdicts are pretty overstable, but that's what I've been throwing forehands with for a little bit.
I don't throw a lot of forehand mids. I mean, the felon is what I would use.
I'm in the woods a lot, so lots of times that's all I have, like in the bushes.
Even in Emporia.
Yeah, I find them.
Somehow he finds the woods even in a forest.
I said they're big flicks, not accurate flicks, okay?
All right, guys. So if you're looking for something to do as winter, or as we go from fall to winter in the November months for activities, we started last year events called Veterans for Vets. This season, event organizers in the Veterans for Vet, the organizers will have the option to purchase their player packs as they see fit, with the addition of optional T-shirts. Slow down. Organizers can now build player packs that best fit their audience, which gives them an opportunity to raise more funds for their veteran organization. Directors will have the option to choose player packs with a baseline disc, a premium disc, and or a T-shirt. Each player's pack must consist of whichever two items you choose, and the minimum required order is 25 packs. A Veterans for Vets event can be run anytime between November 11th and March 1st of 2021. Well, November 2021. November 2020 and March 1, 2021. Now, if you're wondering what that is it's so that you can raise funds for your veterans organizations like Disabled American Veterans organization or the VFW in your town or whatnot. They were very successful last year. The one we ran here for the VFW was raised a lot of money for that particular post. So check it all out at veteransforvets.com and get submitted in to have an event ran in your area so you can get that going in November 11th.
So speaking of things that we do every winter, are we doing anything this winter, like this November?
Ooh.
Oh, like the No Shave November thing?
Yeah. We've done something every year. We got to do something this year, right?
Well, the year before we did the No Shave
Just
where it was
beards.
just beard, and then we did the mustache, the Movember.
Yeah. I enjoyed the mustache.
I don't think Robert enjoyed the mustache.
That's why I
I'm just gonna
enjoyed the
say that
mustache.
on behalf of Robert here.
I was every now and then I look back and I see pictures of when I had my
Me too. And it's so fantastic.
and I don't know that I want to do that again, especially some of the videos that I made because I was in videos.
But it's better when we all do it.
I know.
Because at least we can go places together.
And it's to raise awareness too, so it's for a good cause.
It's definitely raising awareness.
I don't know. We'll have to.
We need to figure that out
brainstorm on
because it's coming up.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to the questions. This one from Levi. Hey there, guys. Huge fan. I'm a junior playing in New Zealand, and my home course is relatively short, with the longest hole only being 300 feet. But my max distance is around 430. I throw forehand and can trust it, but I can only get my forehand around 250. I'm looking for some tips to gain arm speed for a forehand, as I already have learned to throw flippy discs. P.S. Thank you for all you do. You guys rock. What's wrong?
I was going to do something in a New Zealand accent, but I
I'll
can't.
do
I
it.
can't remember how it goes now.
Let's hear it.
Okay, I have to start with something like super stereotypical, and then I tone it down. All right. So start with good eye, mate. All right, Levi. Let me tell you here. For a forehand to gain some arm speed, I think the biggest thing you're going to want to do is to really shift your weight forwards. You really want to stomp your front foot down and make sure that you're following through forwards. I see a lot of people when they're throwing their forehands, they try to kind of snap their elbow, and I don't really think that's the right play. I think it's better to start with your elbow kind of in front, and then use the stomping and your weight shift to kind of snap your arm. And that way you get a lot more of your weight into it, and your arm is just moving as a result.
That's pretty good.
That was good, but the end you got kind of almost like a English hit in there. So
I mean, it's an Australian / New Zealand accent is kind of like a Southern accent version of an English accent. Does that make sense?
yeah,
You should hang out with Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler, he does a lot better than I do.
He's good.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that's real.
yeah. They didn't realize
That's
that.
how good he is.
He's from Wichita, guys.
Yeah.
He's. I think is he from Wichita or El Dorado?
He's from
He
down
lives
that
in
area.
Wichita. Yeah.
No.
So you did answer the question, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I was so listening to the accent. I wasn't even paying attention to the
In
words you
normal
said.
people English, I notice a lot of people when they throw their forehands, you really hear their front
So
foot
New Zealanders
stomp
aren't
down.
normal people.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Burn.
Sorry, go ahead.
Dead. Okay. You know this, especially with Emerson or people like that. You hear their front foot stomp down, and then you see them leaning forward after they throw. So that's a big part of getting your weight into the forehand. And then I see a lot of people when they try to throw forehands, they almost start with their elbow behind and then kind of snap it forward and back, and that really does put a lot of torque on your elbow, from my experience. # not a doctor, but in my experience, I got a lot of tennis elbow when I threw like that. But when I started to start with my elbow farther forward and then just move my arm more as a result of my weight shift and that stomp, then I got a lot better results.
Cool.
There you
I
go.
was waiting on you to say a boomerang in there somewhere. That's what I was waiting for.
This next one is from Elliot. Hey, DGAM fam. I was wondering if juniors who have moved up to pro status, i.e. taken cash, can still play in the junior division. I know that they are not allowed to play AM divisions anymore, but when signing up for tournaments, I noticed that it usually has them listed as pro divisions, AM divisions, and junior divisions. I also know that the pro status juniors have played in junior worlds, but I'm not sure if that was an exception. Thoughts?
Isn't it once they accept cash, unless their rating is a certain number, they can't go back?
As long as you're below 975, you can play in amateur
Yes.
divisions,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, that's the way it used to be. But actually, it used to be as soon as you take money, you're pro.
You're stuck, yeah. But I think he's asking whether junior divisions are classified as amateur divisions.
Yes.
I think
Yes,
most age-protected divisions have a pro version, right? Like MP40,
Except
MP50, except juniors. Yeah.
So I would say yes, it is.
Okay.
Pro
We get-
juniors. Can you imagine?
Some kids are really good though.
Yeah.
All right, we got this last question from Jay. Hey, disc golf answer, boys. We
So-
boys now.
Was that with a Z?
We them boys.
Boys as in like Boise.
We not them boys, Danny.
Hypothetical situation. I putt from 30 feet for birdie 2, and the disc clangs off the cage and rolls away to 45 feet.
This is a familiar experience for me.
If I want to putt from the same lie, would I be putting 3 or 4 from 30 feet?
4.
I'm just confused on N equals how
No.
that works. I will be in the chat if you want me to specify. Thanks, and keep it too real.
So your throw always counts, right? Your putt that you take that you missed, that
from
counts.
30.
So that's your 2. And then you can take a penalty stroke, that's your 3, and rethrow for 4
From your
Yeah, you're
from your previous lie. Yes. You'd be better off going to the 45-footer and trying to make it for 3, because
Or laying
odds
up.
are, or laying up, because odds
be the
are you'll
same.
be closer than 30 feet and you'll have an easier 4.
yeah. I'm not.
The
I
only,
guess
the
I'm
only
not
way that makes sense is if his putt that rolled 45 feet rolled out of
out of
bounds.
bounds.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
But he's asking whether or not, when you rethrow, whether or not the original throw counts or something like that, right?
That's what it seems like. And of course, why wouldn't it count?
Because you're rethrowing. You're not taking the result.
If that's the case, I'm just stepping up on hole 1 and throwing until I ace.
Right.
Moving to hole 2. I'm acing everything.
There you go.
Throw them till you ace because I'm not counting it.
I mean, it's a common confusion thing. That's for sure. But
That's interesting. Cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We answered your questions. Our job is done here. We will now continue on with our...
I won't drop the mic because these are expensive. But
Yes, please don't drop these mic. So thank you guys so much for sending in your questions. Make sure you check out trilogychallenge.com to see if there's an event near you this weekend. Veteransforvets.com to run a Veterans for Vet event in your area. And if you follow Robert on Facebook or Instagram, make sure you congratulate him on the new baby Owen. And we'll be doing disc golf hot takes right after this for our YouTube audience. For our audio audience, we'll see you on the next download. See ya.
okay, bye.
Oh, go to iTunes, rate and review. 5 stars.
I'm not used to you being here when I'm here. Usually I have to cover the 5 stars.
Right.
Cool. All right. I don't know that my hot take is good. I couldn't formulate it. I kept trying to think of how to formulate a question.
I have one too.
Okay.
It's also equally mediocre, I'm sure.
Is it a disc golf one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is yours disc golf?
Yes.
Okay. That's okay.
You guys could both do it, and we just won't have a non-disc golf one today.
Yes. All right. We'll do yours first, Danny.
Okay.
You ready?
Does that mean Danny intros it?
Yeah.
Because isn't that what we did? What you guys did last week?
That's what we did last time. Yeah.
That is not what we did last time.
Oh, no. We did the time before.
You did the 2 times before, then we skipped last time.
Yeah, we did.
What?
Oh, yeah,
Would you
because
like
it
me to
was
just go ahead and
Anthony's.
mute myself
Yes.
then, Bobby? Is
Because
that-
it was Anthony's hot take, and he didn't get to
Rude.
introduce it.
Anthony, go
My bad.
ahead and give us the
Danny's.
the-
Welcome to the worst disc golf. I don't know it, but I already disagree.
Oh man.
So do I do the intro?
Yes.
Yes.
Are we rolling?
Let's all do the
Okay.
intro. I'll say one word. Ready?
Welcome.
Two.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, that sounds horrible idea.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Disc Golf Hot Takes, a podcast on disc golf audio. I am Danny Lindahl, joined by Bobby Brown and Eric McCabe. And here on Hot Takes, the takes are hot and there are no cakes. So my hot
Came
take,
for the cakes.
my hot take this week, it was my responsibility to bring a hot take that I found out of when we started the show. And so this is kind of a thing that's halfway personal preference, but there's arguments on either side. I think that carrying a bag is better than carrying a cart for a few reasons.
true.
Who
The
carries
first
a
off-
cart?
Or better than pulling a cart. Sorry. Storing your discs.
I completely agree with you.
Lugging this thing. Man, this
Worst hot take ever.
I told you. I tried to warn you all.
Sorry, go ahead, Danny.
Okay, so reasons bags are better. Reason one, it's faster. You don't have to be slowed down by pulling it. You can just pick it up and go. There's no friction. It's off the ground right away. Reason two, better storage. If you use a backpack cart, sometimes the sides of the bag will be squished in. It's just easier to get at the packets. I'm from Minnesota now. It's easier to get at the pockets and stuff if your bag is not in a cart. And I just think there's more flexibility with a bag. It's easier to store in your car.
As someone who is how old are you?
That's exactly what I was going to say right now.
How old are you?
I don't see why that's relevant right now. 25.
25. So I'm nearly twice your age. As someone who is twice your age, I vehemently disagree with you. There's
I violently.
I'm reaching across this table and violently
calm down.
disagree. Yes, because there's just so much to your back not feeling it, your shoulder not feeling it when you've got a cart. And, when it comes to the storage, you just got to be creative. And, I got a little GBO cadet bag that I put on the back of my cart for any extra storage. The Ranger has plenty of storage on top. And then I've got a putter pocket or a putter pouch that I use for my putters, even though because since a lot of people lose the side putter of the Ranger bag. So now I will admit that the bag is easier when it's like, hey, let's go play around a disc golf real quick. Grab your bag, throw it in the car, let's go. Whereas the cart, you've got to put the little handle down. You've got to pick it up, put it in the car. And then if you're out of course, it got a little bit of mud, then you're putting that in your car and stuff like that.
I prefer golf carts.
I think you just proved yourself wrong, by the way, Bobby.
But if I were to say overall, though, I would say the carts are much better.
That's actually a good point, though, because a bag is universal. There are literally no non-bag friendly courses, but there are non-cart friendly courses. You can't always use a cart.
fair.
Granted, 90% of the time, but you can't always.
That's true. That is true.
What if
Although
the-
stamina absolutely comes into play.
Oh, for sure.
For us Masters players.
Now, what if the
point
course was underwater?
No, I was fixing it. Sorry.
If the course was underwater, then it's not bag friendly.
That's true.
That's actually a good point.
Not disc golf friendly in that case.
It's probably
Shout out
not
to
friendly.
Bree
at all.
Park.
It's probably not a course. It's probably an ocean. So
That's just called the lake.
right. Yeah.
Or Peter Pan in the fall.
But no, I mean, that's the thing is that, and then it comes with a built-in seat. I mean, that adds to your stamina. And I know we say for older guys, it's definitely feels like a must, I guess, or it's like really something that you really want. But even the young kids, I mean, I think young kids don't realize, like a lot of people are like, how do I round two? I'm always like, how do I get through the mental part of round two? And I'm always this, and it's like, part of it could be your fatigue. You're tired. You don't go play 36 holes of disc golf all the time. And so with having that cart and not having the bag to lug around, you're saving some of that energy.
What about people who use disc golf as a way to work out, like a way to hike and get their exercise in? You get more value out of it if you're carrying more. So that's when carrying a bag has a benefit.
I think it's so minimal. I mean,
I think if
having
you're
it on your
that
back.
person though, getting out and
Okay,
I'm
so-
gonna go play disc golf to hike. You probably are taking 3 or 4 discs for exercise. You know, you're not lugging your
That's
whole.
fair, but it is better exercise carrying a bag versus pulling a cart. Except for what Bobby
on
just
the-
said, which he
unless-
said it's minimal.
Unless we're playing Waterworks, a course like
You
Waterworks
hop at Blue Lake,
or Blue, yeah,
Yeah.
Blue Valley.
Blue Valley. It's Blue
Valley.
Valley. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if whether you're walking in with a bag or whether you have a cart, you're going to get the 7,000 steps in. So you're getting the steps in. Now, yes, having more weight on your back. I mean, you can buy vests that have weights in them, but it's only
Ankle
for
weights.
it's such a minimal time that I don't know that the difference is what I'm searching for is the difference to me is negligible.
I will say, if I'm playing a tournament and I have a caddy, 100% want a bag, not a cart.
Really? Why?
Screw that guy, I
It's
guess.
just weird.
Yeah, just to be rude to the guy who's trying to be nice to you.
It's just weird to walk over and if I have a caddy, it's because I'm trying to, conserve energy and not, be bending over and put my bag down or pulling a cart around all day. If the guy has, if he's pulling my bag around, I still have to bend over.
You
Pick
still
up
bend over.
disc. I still got to.
You don't make
at
him
least
pick up
I'm
the
at-
cart and
at
put
least
it-
I'm at
He's carrying
arm
the
length, or arm height.
Right.
When I'm
Eric,
pulling
you're using a
discs
caddy
out, so-
wrong.
I am.
Yeah,
How do you do?
just tell him. Say, I want the blue
I want the
defender.
blue. Not
There you
that,
go. Yeah.
No, the other
not
one.
that blue EMAC.
Yeah, hand it to me
that
quicker
one.
next time, please.
Yeah,
I only have
sorry.
30 seconds.
Just hand me the
When in doubt, just hand me an EMAC and we're good to go.
Yeah, we'll call it good.
What's your take, Anthony?
I have actually not used a cart. The only time I used a cart was caddying for someone, and that was way
With
harder.
Eric, see?
And it was super awkward.
No, it was actually for Robert.
Well, that's awkward in itself.
Still super awkward. Yeah. But no, I like bags. I mean, if a bag is too heavy, like I've recently started playing with just a trooper bag. I can fit as many discs as I need, a couple towels, my phone, everything like that, and I don't have any issues. I'm 27, so I'm reaching old guy
Man.
status, But yeah, I mean, I think in my head it's easier to use a smaller bag like a trooper, maybe a paratrooper, commander, or something like that, than it would be for a cart. Even if I'm just going to go play Peter Pan, Jones, whatever. I think personally, once I pick it up and then I put it on, it's just kind of like, all right, cool. And then it's on my back for, I don't throw that far, so it only takes me 30 seconds to go walk to my disc, and then I set it back down again. So I'm team bag. I think,
bag.
I think
team
bags,
bag.
You need
I
one
think
of those
bags are easier.
throwback Laron Harris throw and goes. Does anybody even know
what?
what I'm talking about?
No idea.
So it was something that came out in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s, but it was a bag that you wore on your leg. And it had the discs in it like a holster.
So it's just a
sick.
holster, and
Yeah.
you
you could pull them out and play. Yeah.
I feel like that would just be in the way.
Well, it was. That's why you don't see it now.
So like I would throw it, all the rest of the discs would just go flying out.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. A yard sale, we call that.
All right. Thank you for tuning in.
Matthew says, wait a minute. He's counterpointing my point. He says, wait a minute. You can't say the exercise is minimal, but the strain is so much to prefer a cart. Actually, yes, I can.
'Cause you did.
I already did. No, no.
The way the English language works.
I'm talking about I'm not talking about necessarily just the strain. I mean, I'm not saying when I have to me, there is a difference in saying that I get so much more exercise out of carrying the bag and then measuring that against the strain of bending over and picking up my bag and putting it on my shoulder. Because there's something to bending over, putting it on, bending it over, putting it on. That in itself to me is minimal, where you're not going to see a huge benefit in that. And the weight on your back isn't enough for me. It's not enough for me to say I'd rather have a bag to get the exercise benefit as opposed to having a cart to avoid the strain.
Those also have a different connotation to it. Like exercise is a good thing. You want exercise, where strain is a negative thing and you want to avoid that.
Right.
So I think if you're going out looking for the exercise, that's one thing, but you're not going out and looking to strain your back or your arm or your leg or shoulder or whatever.
And the exercise coming from disc golf to me is getting out there and doing the steps to the walking around. It's not,
it's not the physically
physical
throwing.
conditioning of more weight.
You don't just bicep curl your cart down the fairways?
Yeah.
You do now.
I will.
I do now. I make sure all my discs are the max weight so that I get the maximum benefit out of it. Anyway, so
I do
All
both. I carry a cart and pull my bag on the ground
drag your bag
Put the cart on your back.
with the straps.
and drag your bag. Anyway, all right. Well, there you go for Danny's hot take on bag versus cart. Let us know in the comments when we post this on the Facebook page. Let us know your thoughts on bag versus cart. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the next hot takes.
I mean, it was mediocre.
It was all right. It had some, It wasn't like a super tension one.
Yeah.
Like the spoon versus fork.
It wasn't awkward.
I also plan on buying a cart literally later today. So
As I turn 25 or whatever.
yeah.
How old do you say? You are 25.
25, yep.
That's right. All right. So what do we have for, So mine, I can't formulate it into a take.
You know how the good things always come on this show, Bobby? Just start talking.
This is true. We
Just
do start
go
talking.
and then
Just go with it.
Yeah, just
All right.
see what comes out.
I say, Daniel says, agreed, Bobby. Bad form of exercise is of no help to your body sometimes. Yeah. Cool. All right. Let me take a brain break real quick first.
Somebody in the comments said that Emac could be Danny's dad. How did I not notice this?
Wait a minute.
So I put Danny Mac. It's just because we're light complected.
Somebody earlier said, "Is that Robert's son Owen to Bobby's right?"
Okay.
By the way, you posted a picture of you. I think it was your mother. Maybe she posted it and
Yeah,
tagged you in it.
me and
your
my brother. And our
Did
little
you guys
brown
see
dog.
that?
No, I want to see it though.
You guys look so much alike.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Like the family resemblance is there.
I'm obviously the better looking brother. Let's just be real here.
Obviously.
Just talking, but we do look very similar.
Yeah.
While we're in our brain break, was this posted on Facebook? On Instagram?
Facebook, yeah. Go look it up. Go look at Danny's.
I can share it.
Right there.
Looks like Danny.
Yes.
I mean, obviously it's because you're family, but it's just striking how much the resemblance is.
I think I look more like my sister personally.
Your brother is the one in your arms, right?
Yeah.
He's referring to the dog. For
burn.
those
You guys
that
have the same mustache. So.
Yeah. Oh, Theodore's a grumpy old man now.
Nice.
That picture wasn't taken recently either, was it?
No, it was like 2 years ago or so.
That was like a Sun's
got the
Sun's
stash
Day
going,
post,
so-
wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, that's just why she
like
posted
months,
it.
yeah.
That's when I was, I believe I drove up all by myself some like 11 hours to go crash my grandparents' Christmas up in Wisconsin.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Did it kick you out when you got there? After you
No.
crashed there? All right, here we go. We'll see if I can formulate this into thoughts and words. You recording? Mm-hmm. Welcome to the bonus episode of Disc Golf Hot Takes, where we still don't have any hot cakes. All right, so this is a thought I had when we started thinking about what should we do for hot takes, literally minutes before we started recording. I wanted to touch on this subject that I saw on Facebook, and that is, here's my take. I do not believe that pay-per-view disc golf will help grow the sport at all. I think that in this day and age, and because of the way things are as far as media coverage, that pay-per-view does not help grow the sport.
This is about USDGC.
Yes.
So last year USDGC was like $10, I think, to watch the live, and the post-produce was free. And I was all about that because I know live is expensive and they put a lot of value in it too. They had like a good set for the commentary. They had good commentators. They did everything. And I was happy to pay to offset that. This year, it's significantly more expensive from what I understand. It's at
But you
least-
get double the coverage.
Oh, you do? How so?
Well, because the FPOs are also.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's triple the price, right? Isn't it 29 or no,
It's
no
20
19,
bucks.
19.99 is the first level, right?
I know I saw it was at least double. I don't know what the tiers.
I think it's 19.99 and 24 and then
I
30.
thought it went up $10 each time. I thought it was 20, 30, 40.
Doesn't seem
Maybe-
like it's very well advertised.
Yeah.
I saw this like whenever they announced it like a week ago, and I haven't seen it. I've seen people discuss it, but I haven't seen the actual
Regardless, that
dollar
doesn't
amounts.
matter.
Yeah.
Regardless,
So-
the extra beyond $10 feels like they're doing more than just offsetting the cost, right? Because I mean, they have ads regardless. It feels like they're trying to use that as a source of income, and I feel like that's kind of because before I feel like I was paying as a way to support the coverage, and so now it feels like I don't know. It feels too expensive to me.
Now, let me clarify my point here. Let me clarify a little bit. I am a media person. I remember getting paid next to nothing to go cover disc golf. Okay, so
I remember your old videos.
I've been in the trenches. I've paid my dues. Okay, because I knew where disc golf was, and I knew I knew I just needed to get in there, and I needed to do the 10,000 hours thing. I needed to do it and do it and do it and do it and do it. Right? No matter
Doing it well.
Do it. Little LL Cool J there. So don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't think that people that produce disc golf media shouldn't get paid. They should get paid, and they are very underpaid, right? The Smashbox TVs, the Jomez and all them, they're underpaid as compared to if this was a different sport that had more money in the sport. All right. I just don't think that in our certain current state of media that pay-per-view is the way to grow the sport. Is it a way to make sure that we compensate the production crews? Yes, it is a way to do that, but I don't think it's going to grow the sport. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Kind of the clarification I have there. I'm not saying that charging for viewing doesn't help pay the people that need to be paid. I'm saying in the grow the sport movement, it's not a component to grow the sport.
I think if it makes better coverage, then I'm with it because it past a certain point, right? If it's just some dude out there with his cell phone, just live streaming to Facebook Live and walking around, I feel like that is a pretty low threshold or whatever. But if pay-per-view produces a more watchable product at that point, then that's worth it. That is growing the sport. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, I don't necessarily. I completely agree. I don't think it's
now. It's interesting that you brought that up because a lot of people said that. Someone said, I forgot what their point was. I actually commented on it. The point was, I think, was that I'm willing to pay more to get better quality. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it was. And I was like, well, hold on a minute. I don't think we need to say that paying more will give us better quality because Smashbox is, in my opinion. Now I don't know the numbers or whatever like that, and I don't know if Johnny V's on here or not, but they are greatly underpaid. And just because you pay more doesn't mean that the disc golf production quality is going to go up.
It's true.
You can't automatically because Terry and Johnny V are doing it for the love of doing it and wanting to see the sport grow. And obviously, they want to make. I think they would love that this be their full-time job. I'm thinking, but there's no way based on the money they make now. So. I don't like that argument or that thinking of if I pay more, then I get better quality. No, it's just that these companies that are doing it now are saying, hey, we're not willing to take a hit on our costs, you're going to pay us a good amount to have us do this quality production.
Yeah, I see what you're saying though. Like, new player, if I get the link and share it on Facebook, and a new player's like, oh, maybe I'll check out, see what disc golf is, and they see that and they're like, oh wait, I can't watch it because I have to pay. Never mind. They just keep scrolling.
Sure.
Whereas if it's free, they might watch it for a while and be interested and stuff like that. So I see what you're saying there.
Another thing that I don't like, maybe I'm just using this as my hot take soapbox, is that people think they're just being greedy and out to make money. I don't think they're making bukus off this. They're not going to be making bukus. So a lot of these people that have this cry of, oh, they're just doing it to line their pockets. They're not lining their pockets. They're not going out buying yachts after this broadcast.
Yeah,
okay.
they're able to get to the next tournament.
Right.
Most of the time.
So yeah, that's that.
I guess I want to know where the money goes for this pay-per-view.
It is steep. It is quite a bit.
It is really
higher.
expensive. It feels, yeah.
Are you paying for it?
I don't know yet. I haven't
Bobby?
decided.
Have you decided?
I have not decided
Are you
yet.
gonna get it to watch it?
Have not decided yet. Might have to pull out the old DD credit card, corporate card. No, I'm playing.
Just give me the login.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. So anyway, so that's my hot take. Now, I do believe that we should do things to grow the sport. I just don't know that. I just don't feel like this is a thing that technically grows the sport.
Yeah, it seems like this is a weird year to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like this would have been a great year for the USDGC to step up and be like, hey, guess what? We're going to do free coverage for you guys this year. You know, I think that would go a little further than charging people double or more than double of what it has been previously.
Cool.
I'm probably going to pay for the coverage anyway.
Yeah.
I got a question for
Yeah.
you guys. We're all in agreement that we don't think it helps grow the sport.
Right.
Do we think that this is the future? Do we think that more and more tournaments are going to be pay-per-view, or is it going to stay free on
good question.
YouTube, or, like the NFL, you can just flip on CBS?
The disc golf network.
I guess I tried to think that, and I kept thinking, what sport would do pay-per-view? That's just great. Then I thought, oh yeah, MMA, UFC, I don't
Boxing
think,
is like that?
They always do that. Boxing is like that. So I don't know if we can. It almost feels like, has UFC ever been free?
They have done stuff. They had a thing with Fox, but it would never be like their big events. Those would always be pay-per-view. They would do, so it would be like if there was an A tier,
Right.
that would be on CBS, but GBO, you have to pay $60 and you can get it for pay-per-view, or
Right.
however much it is.
I guess my thinking on that front is that it would almost feel like now not on the financial level, but it would almost be like the World Series become pay-per-view, or the Super Bowl become pay-per-view. Because, in other words, we would be kind of going, it would like all of a sudden for years you've been able to watch this for free. I say free in air quotes because you obviously have to watch the commercials unless you record it and fast forward.
Or you're paying for the service that you're watching.
Or you're paying for the cable service, or you're paying for the internet, whatever. You are somehow paying for it, right? But that would be like those big events now becoming pay-per-view. In other words, disc golf. And I remember when I would make DVDs. Those sold for a while, then they stopped because people started doing pay-per-view. So I started charging people for online viewing of my tournament coverage. I went from $9.99 to where people did it. Then I had to go to $4.99. Then I had to go to $1.99, and then all of a sudden
pay people to watch it.
and then all of a sudden people started putting free tournament coverage out on YouTube, and I was like, well, there goes that business model. So it would almost like be going backwards, and I don't think people would go for that.
It'd be hard with how much free content has been out there the last 10 years.
Right.
I see the pay-per-view, the payment model as a Band-Aid almost, right? Like while we don't have the viewership to be sustainable just off of views, right? And we don't have enough money in the sport just for now, while it's growing, I could see doing the pay-per-view. And then once we've sort of been established to the point to where the production companies can just get paid off of normal things like advertisements or YouTube ad revenue or whatever, then I can see them dropping the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Cool. All right. That's our that's my hot take. Again, guys, do not get it twisted. Don't you dare get it twisted. I am not putting down USDGC. I am not putting down any of the decision makers who made this choice. I know they're just trying something. They're seeing how, I'm sure that, well, I don't know. I wasn't in the meeting, but they're putting that out there as a model to do. I believe that tournament directors should get paid. I believe that production crews should get paid. I believe that people involved with it should get paid. Okay. So don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that these people should not get paid. And I'm a true believer in it's okay to make money off disc golf, right? It's okay to provide a service of value for someone. And if someone's willing to pay for that service and they get value from it, then that's okay. Okay. All I'm saying is I don't think that the pay-per-view model will grow the sport in the sense of getting it more exposure to more people.
Yeah.
That was my take. All right, cool, guys.
I agree with that.
Thank you so much. If you heard this on our podcast and we put this on our Facebook page, make sure you let us know in your comments how you feel about it. Thanks, guys.
After show or end the stream?
What?
After show or end the stream?
Do we have anything to talk about?
A lot of times people will already.
We can talk about a few things.
We can talk about a few things because people tend to in the
Dang it.
YouTube they tend to put stuff.
They already twisted it.
I know. We already twisted it, Bobby.
Dang
We can
it.
twist it any. We can't twist it any further.
I just realized that the very first question on the DGAM. Look at Danny's shirt.
Danny's shirt, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, if you're watching on YouTube, Danny has the alien abduction dynamic shirt on, and our first question was about being abducted by an alien.
this shirt.
Let's see. Mike says in every other sport media companies pay to get rights to it. Exactly.
Well, disc golf, yeah. It's
Because
different,
they're
right?
getting money from the ads and stuff.
From the ads, right? In
Yeah.
other words, production company ABC goes to an event and says, "We will put on the production. We will pay you to make the production, and then we will make the money off of our advertising." Yes.
That'd be so crazy if disc golf went to that.
Sure, it probably will at some
Eventually,
point.
I could see
We're
that.
not there right now.
No.
Ooh, Chris thinks it's a fantastic hot take.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid one.
I gotta go ban him, sorry.
Was it an okay one?
Yeah, it was good.
That was good.
Let's see. Please make them put the suspect. Oh, and then someone said, "Is this turning into another podcast where they just put down people?" We weren't putting down people.
I think
we
they
were
were talking
discussing
about
it.
Foundation.
What happened
The
on
Foundation
Foundation?
podcast.
Oh, I've never listened to that.
What happened
neither.
on Foundation's podcast?
No, I don't know.
Who are they putting down?
That's
Just Answer Man? Are we going to have a battle?
Probably
Yeah.
a
specifically
rap
Bob.
battle. That's what we're doing next.
Ooh, I'm out. You're grounded.
You guys are kind of cool, I guess, but not that cool.
But not that cool.
I'm trying to see people's comments if they had questions or comments in here. Right, Ryan. What did Ryan say?
They make the money from salmon. What? Because of the salmon ad on Disc Golf Pro.
Pros, yeah.
Hey, I like salmon.
I'll probably pay for, what is it? If the cheapest one is $19.99 where at least get to watch.
Do you get to watch it all? What does that give you?
Something is like just post-produced. You have to pay for post-produced too.
Whoa.
I thought the
Why don't we just
$19.99
go
was
to
you
this
got
website
everything.
and
Like
see it?
you could just view
Good call.
the
literally go to
$29.99
the
was
source.
something I thought, and then I think it's $49.99. You get everything plus a disc.
Oh, so they're throwing like, okay.
All right.
I don't need a disc.
For
I forget what the
$20, you
middle tier
get
is.
4 days of live coverage, exclusive access for 14 days, so you have 2 weeks to watch it all. You get a membership into US Disc Golf.
What's that?
What is
I don't
that?
know. And then for $10 more, you get all that. Then you get the condensed coverage. Wow.
See, you have to pay for.
And that's the only extra you get is condensed. Jump up another $10 to now we're at $40. You get everything plus a $5 store credit to the US DGC store, and then you get a disc.
Is it an EMAC Truth?
Yes. Oh, the
would
gold
be
pass was
sick.
limited to 500, and they sold out.
Why would they limit it? Because of the disc, I guess?
They probably only have that many
Only have
discs. I
gold
bet, yeah.
passes.
What
Yeah, they
about
don't-
diamonds? The diamond pass.
Ooh,
You get an actual diamond.
you don't get
Hey.
anything.
$7,000 for the weekend.
What about netherites?
That's a lot.
Nobody gets that joke in this joke.
So $20,000 just from that. And what frustrates me is people be like, see, they're at $20K just from that. Well,
Well, they got to pay for
They
the
gotta
disc.
pay
Have
for
any
everything.
idea what it costs to put
Yeah.
on?
Do you remember
People
the coverage
forget.
from last year where they
Do
had
you
the
realize
van?
how much Philo charges?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
They
Also,
had the,
500 discs aren't free.
Yeah.
right.
They had the live coverage from the drone last year with like the van driving around to help with the cell signal.
Oh, that's right.
That was really cool.
I'm interested in it for sure. I mean, if I do it, I'm just going to do the 1999.
Why is it the 2 majors? Because of the women, the FPO and MPO? Yeah.
That's the only major this year. There's only 1 major this year.
yeah.
That's the OCDC.
Well, technically, there's 2 then
I'm surprised
Well,
the PDGA let them.
for each
And
division.
FPO, yeah.
As much as the PDGA cares about coverage, I'm surprised they let them put the post-produce behind a paywall.
Well, it's also, I mean, their USDGC's been grandfathered in for so long now too. Being the United States Disc Golf Championship, the U.S. Open, having that name, that title, you can't do that. You just can't. We can't just start an event and call it the U.S. title,
Yeah.
or anything like that. Or we can't take, you know what I mean? What I'm trying to get at. It's really bizarre. But yeah, you're absolutely right as far as the PDGA not wanting it to just be free coverage, or
The PDGA having an issue with it being behind a paywall.
and maybe they do. Who knows?
I would assume so, but
Isn't this event isn't? I mean, it's sanctioned. Technically, it's a major, but the ratings don't count. Again,
Yeah. I
I think
correct?
that's how it typically is.
because
isn't
of stroke and distance and the.
all the different. Yeah.
Which that's a whole nother hot take. We could have definitely
mozzarella
done.
sticks.
That's not going to be very hot.
That's true.
I like mozzarella sticks hot. Hot take.
Oh,
Preferred temperature, warm.
Correct.
But
I like my mozzarella sticks like I like my takes.
yes, I miss hole 2 at UCDC. I think that was one of the best holes on the course.
I think they're moving
Did they
back
bring it
to
back?
the more traditional layout. I know it's going to be old hole 1. I saw.
Yeah, they said.
Okay.
Over
I
the
think
rock?
they said it's the 2018 layout.
that doesn't. So it's not the more traditional one, but it's. But you are playing.
I thought that
hole
was the
2.
last year they did the.
It is the last year they played hole 2. But
DGAM versus Foundation pay-per-view tag team wrestling match.
don't they have Brody on their team? I don't think I want
I'm
to
much
step
more
in a
interested in
ring
a
with
rap
him.
battle all of a sudden.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. So,
No hot take, no run ups after the tee shot. I'm assuming that's what he meant. I think that's
No,
dumb.
if you put a T-shirt on, you're not allowed to run.
Oh, dang it.
why did they call it the Women's
After t-shirt.
National Championship?
Because they can't call it U.S. Women's.
Yeah.
Because
That's another tournament.
oh, that's right.
That's the PDGA's event.
the USWD. When that got canceled because of COVID?
did.
Yeah.
It was
I
supposed
forgot
to
about
be. Is it Maine? Or was it in Maine last year? I don't remember.
thought it was.
It kind of
last
it kind
year.
of sucks, honestly. I feel bad for the Europeans who aren't able to travel over and play these events.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're just not getting a shot at the
especially on
match.
the FPO side, where Kristen Tatar won the U.S. Women's last year.
That's like a big part of the USDGC too, is seeing the flags next to everybody's name.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And now it's just going to be all American, besides Simon, I guess.
And one Canadian. Well, maybe
Yeah,
Thomas Gilbert's here, I
couple.
think.
maybe.
So I won't mention the name, but people who follow this person on Twitter will know. But
So
someone,
Robert.
Robert McCall.
Yeah.
someone said, "Why are we?" Did he say, "Why are we having a major when we can't have international players play?"
That's a good point.
Yeah, I agree.
But what were we supposed to do? Not run anything?
I mean, just call it something else.
I mean,
honestly, if you called it a C tier, everyone would still show up. As
Yeah.
long
If
as you
they
have the
still
cash.
had USDGC and it just
if you had the
wasn't a
money
major.
involved,
Yeah.
yeah,
Can
Well,
you
maybe
have?
that's why they're doing the pay-per-view live stuff.
it's true.
They're going to pull the rug out from underneath everyone, and it's actually going to be the highest paying
I don't know
payout
who said that.
tier.
Will you pull it up right there so I can
We
see it?
were
What? Who said it? I'm trying to find it exactly.
and just came back from Nashville.
I have an idea.
Where we ate a lot of fast
Yeah,
food.
that's what I thought.
Because we were on a trip, and breakfast is usually a challenge because eggs upset my stomach, and nobody wants to be around me after I eat them. So my favorite is Chick-fil-A because of the chicken minis. It's like a roll with a chicken nugget in it and like a honey
It is so good.
on top.
They are good.
Fantastic. I
like
found
Brahms.
out. You like
Go
what?
ahead. Go ahead.
Brahms?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I found out on this trip that Wendy's has a honey butter
Yes.
chicken biscuit.
They do.
I like all 4 of those things, and it was delicious.
I thought Whataburger had the.
They do.
They do.
They also do.
Very similar.
I think Wendy's may have said, "Hey, I'm going to do that."
I didn't
you
know
made
that.
this?
We have a Wendy's
I
here. We
made
don't
this.
have a Whataburger.
I made this now.
do
I like.
pepperoni.
That's what I said. I like the Bobs. We had a Bob in Texas.
Yeah.
Breakfast on a bun.
About 4 o'clock in the morning.
I think Wendy's does that too, though. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning.
quite early.
Quite on our way to a 19-hour day, I believe it was.
Yep.
Chris thinks we should be able to release a jump putt in the air. I'm about to slam dunk on all these fools.
Oh, heck yeah.
I'm coming from 45 feet away, windmilling.
Can you imagine that? You just got to let it go before you touch.
Everyone would just James Conrad run their jump putts now. Just full sprint jump.
And you'd still have the same issue with foot faults because people would call it before. Oh, you didn't release that before your front
people
foot
would
touched.
get the timing down right before their foot lands. Is this the tweet thing?
Yeah. The reason behind having a major without international players.
Which I get it, but at the same time, I mean, it sucks for the international players. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's what do you do?
I'm totally fine if they just didn't want to call it a major this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they
So
there was
have,
no world.
have
I mean, there was no world championship, which
Yeah.
is really, I guess, in my mind,
so have the
the major.
USDGC, but just not
Just don't make
categorize
it
it
a
as a major.
Yeah,
why not?
What would that change? Just the title that you win?
yeah.
It wouldn't change anything
You'd still win the same amount of money.
except you wouldn't win a major. So that would kind of stink for the players.
This kind of
I
feels
see.
like
Yeah, so-
Steve Brinster,
Oh,
who
man.
won USDGC a few years ago, would not have a major title under his belt. I mean, technically he would. But
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
I
Be
mean,
an
what about
asterisk next to it.
Germ when it got rained out the
That's
last round?
definitely one.
that
Yeah.
this kind of feels like a similar thing where how Germs, some would say he has an asterisk next to his win. I mean, I think he's a U.S. champion. Nobody's really disputing that, but some people would say there's an asterisk by it. It feels like there would be an asterisk by the
By this
person
one?
who wins
Yeah.
this year because there's no international competition.
But there won't be.
Yeah, and I personally don't see an asterisk next to Germs, but there's an argument to be made there.
How many Europeans have won USDGC?
Have any?
Have any?
Exactly. That was my point.
Oh,
But
Well, I know there's.
But on the FPO side now, I mean, if I would love
Yeah.
to see that competition with
Yeah.
with Paige and with Kristen and
Henna
with
and
Henna
Evelina.
and Evelina. I
Evelina,
mean,
yeah.
all those ladies are just killing it. I feel so bad for them this year that they couldn't be here to play. It just stinks. Next year.
Interesting.
Next year.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for YouTube's. Thank you guys for sticking around on the YouTube. We appreciate all of you. If you haven't joined yet, join the community.
hey, Bobby.
620-312-32. Yep, that was right. 620-312-3225.
We really don't want you to text.
Yeah. I'm just throwing all kinds of numbers out there. Yeah, just
Eventually one of them will come.
867-5309.
if you want to if you want to know about new releases, send me a text that says new releases, #new releases. If you want to know just about Disc Golf Answerman stuff, send me a #DGAM. If you want every text, just say hi. If you haven't already joined, it'll send you an automated response at first to make sure you're in the system. Then after that, every text is literally from me typing it away at either my phone or my computer.
Thank you for hanging around, Bobby.
Thank you, Danny. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
My pleasure.
All right.
Wait, we
see you
talked about
guys.
Chick-fil-A.
Thanks, guys.